Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the thrilling story of Spartacus, the gladiator who defied Rome. Picture, if you will, the Colosseum, a stage for gladiatorial combat, a spectacle of both horror and awe. It is here in this crucible of courage and cruelty that our story unfolds. Stay tuned as we uncover his incredible journey and the impact he made on history. Born in Thrace, a region known for its fierce warriors, Spartacus's early life remains shrouded in the mists of time. Some historians speculate he might have even served as a soldier in the Roman army before his capture. Can you imagine the cruel twist of fate? The warrior turned captive, forced to fight for the very empire he once served. Sold into slavery, Spartacus found himself in Capua, a city renowned for its gladiatorial training schools. Here, stripped of his freedom, he endured the brutal regime of the Ludas, a gladiatorial training ground. Each day was a fight for survival, a test of strength and will. Yet even as the iron fist of Rome sought to crush his spirit, Spartacus clung to the embers of freedom, a fire that would soon ignite a rebellion. Life in the Ludas was one of constant hardship and brutality. The daily routine was grueling, with endless hours of training under the watchful eyes of harsh overseers. Every day was a test of endurance, strength, and willpower. Gladiators, many of whom were prisoners of war or condemned criminals, faced a bleak existence, their lives hanging by a thread in the arena. They were forced to fight for their survival, often against insurmountable odds, with the roar of the bloodthirsty crowd echoing in their ears. The year was 73 BC, and the flames of discontent, long smouldering within the hearts of the oppressed, were about to erupt. The oppressive conditions and the constant threat of death had created a powder keg of resentment and anger. A plot was hatched, a desperate gamble for freedom. The gladiators, driven by a fierce desire to reclaim their lives, began to whisper of rebellion. They knew the risks were immense, but the promise of freedom was a powerful motivator. Spartacus, along with a small group of fellow gladiators, dared to challenge their Roman captors. Spartacus, a Thracian by birth, had become a symbol of hope and defiance. His leadership and charisma inspired his fellow gladiators to believe that escape was possible. Armed with nothing but kitchen utensils, these desperate men fought their way out of the gladiatorial school, their courage fueled by desperation and the tantalizing promise of liberty. The odds were against them, but their determination was unbreakable. This audacious escape sent shockwaves through Roman society. The very idea that a group of slaves could defy the might of Rome was unthinkable. Panic and fear spread among the Roman elite, who realized that their control was not as absolute as they had believed. What began as a local prison break would soon escalate into a full-blown rebellion, forever etching Spartacus's name in the annals of history. His fight for freedom would inspire countless others, and his legacy would endure for centuries as a symbol of resistance against oppression. Chapter 3. The Breakout from Capua to Vesuvius. Escaping the confines of the Ludas was just the first step in a perilous journey. Spartacus and his band of rebels, now numbering in the hundreds, sought refuge on the slopes of Mount Vesuvius, a seemingly dormant volcano that would become their stronghold. Word of the rebellion spread like wildfire, attracting thousands of desperate slaves yearning for freedom. Shepherds, farmers, laborers all answered the call, their ranks swelling with each passing day. Rome, initially dismissive of the slave uprising, began to take notice. This was no mere local disturbance. This was a growing threat to the very fabric of Roman society. The Senate dispatched a small force to quell the rebellion, confident in their ability to crush the uprising. They underestimated the strategic brilliance and unwavering determination of Spartacus. Chapter 4. The Rise of a Leader, Forging a Rebel Army. Spartacus, a gladiator hardened by the crucible of combat, proved to be a natural leader. His journey from a mere slave to a symbol of resistance is a testament to his indomitable spirit and strategic brilliance. He possessed a keen tactical mind, understanding the importance of discipline and organization. Spartacus knew that without a well-structured plan, their rebellion would be crushed by the might of the Roman legions. Under his command, the ragtag group of escaped slaves transformed into a formidable fighting force. They were no longer just a band of fugitives. They became a cohesive unit with a shared purpose and vision. he recognized the importance of training and discipline, drilling his recruits relentlessly. Spartacus instilled in them the skills and tactics necessary to face the well-trained Roman soldiers. Spartacus understood that to challenge the might of Rome, his army needed more than just courage. It needed structure, strategy, and a unified spirit. He meticulously planned their movements, ensuring that every action was calculated and precise. He divided his forces into cohorts, appointing skilled lieutenants to command them, effectively mirroring the Roman military structure. This not only improved their combat effectiveness, but also boosted their morale, as they saw themselves as equals to their Roman adversaries. He emphasized the importance of unity, treating his followers with respect and fairness, a stark contrast to the brutality they had endured under Roman rule. Spartacus's leadership style was revolutionary. He led by example, earning the trust and loyalty of his men. This egalitarian approach fostered fierce loyalty among his troops, inspiring them to fight with unwavering fervor. They were not just fighting for their freedom, they were fighting for a leader who believed in their worth and potential. The battles they fought were intense and grueling, but Spartacus's strategic acumen often gave them the upper hand. His ability to anticipate the enemy's moves and adapt to changing circumstances was crucial in their numerous victories. Spartacus's speeches before battles were legendary, filled with passion and conviction. He reminded his troops of the stakes of the freedom they were fighting for and the future they could build together. His words ignited a fire within them, driving them to fight with unparalleled determination. Each victory bolstered their confidence and strengthened their resolve. They began to believe that they could indeed challenge the Roman Empire and carve out a new destiny for themselves. Spartacus and his lieutenants would often gather to plan their next moves, analyzing their successes and learning from their mistakes. This continuous process of evaluation and adaptation was key to their sustained resistance. The camaraderie among Spartacus's troops was palpable. They were bound not just by their shared struggle, but by a deep sense of brotherhood and mutual respect. This unity was their greatest strength, making them a force to be reckoned with. As they marched into battle, led by Spartacus, they carried with them the hopes and dreams of countless oppressed souls. Their fight was not just for survival, but for a future where they could live as free men and women. Their victories were celebrated with joy and relief, but they never lost sight of the challenges ahead. Spartacus kept them focused, always reminding them of the ultimate goal: freedom from Roman tyranny. In quiet moments, Spartacus would reflect on his journey, the sacrifices made and the lives lost. He knew the path they had chosen was fraught with danger, but he also knew that their cause was just and their spirit unbreakable. As they prepared for each new battle, Spartacus's army grew stronger, more resilient and more determined. They were not just fighting for themselves, but for a future where freedom and justice would prevail. And so, with Spartacus at the helm, they marched forward, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their quest for liberation and driven by the unwavering belief that they could change the course of history. Chapter 5. Victories against the odds. The slave army on the march. This was no ordinary march, it was a movement fueled by the desire for freedom and justice. The slaves, once bound by chains, now marched with a purpose, their spirits unbroken and their resolve stronger than ever. The Roman Senate, alarmed by the growing strength of the slave army, dispatched a larger, more seasoned force led by the praetor Gaius Claudius Glaber. The Senate, a body of seasoned politicians and military strategists, understood the gravity of the situation. They knew that if the rebellion was not quashed swiftly, it could inspire other slaves across the Republic to rise up. Confident in their superior numbers and training, the Romans marched south, eager to crush the rebellion. The Roman legions, renowned for their discipline and combat prowess, believed that their experience and tactical superiority would make short work of the slave army. They marched with a sense of invincibility, their armor gleaming in the sun, their banners fluttering in the wind. Spartacus, however, had other plans. A former gladiator, Spartacus was no stranger to combat and strategy. He understood that direct confrontation with the Roman legions would be suicidal. Instead, he relied on his knowledge of guerrilla tactics and the element of surprise. Employing cunning tactics and exploiting the Romans' overconfidence, Spartacus led his forces to a stunning victory at Mount Vesuvius. The battle was a masterclass in strategy and deception. Spartacus used the terrain to his advantage, luring the Roman forces into a trap. The victory was not just a military triumph, but a psychological one, shattering the myth of Roman invincibility. Using ropes and ladders crafted from vines, the rebels descended the treacherous slopes at night, surprising the unsuspecting Roman encampment. The night was their ally, cloaking their movements in darkness. The Romans, caught off guard, were thrown into disarray. The rebels fought with the ferocity of men who had nothing to lose and everything to gain. The victory sent shockwaves through the Roman Republic. News of the defeat spread like wildfire, reaching the farthest corners of the Republic. The Senate was in turmoil, and the Roman citizens were in disbelief. How could a ragtag group of slaves defeat the might of Rome? It was a testament to Spartacus's military genius and the unwavering spirit of his followers. Spartacus had proven that with the right leadership and a just cause, even the most unlikely of forces could achieve the impossible. His followers, inspired by his vision and courage, were willing to follow him to the ends of the earth. The victory at Mount Vesuvius was just the beginning. It marked the start of a series of battles and skirmishes that would see the slave army grow in strength and numbers. Each victory bolstered their confidence and attracted more followers to their cause. Spartacus's slave army, emboldened by their success, marched north, liberating slaves and attracting new recruits along the way. The march was not just a military campaign, but a liberation movement. As they moved from town to town, they freed slaves, who in turn joined their ranks, swelling their numbers and strengthening their resolve. Their ranks swelled and their legend grew, striking fear into the hearts of Roman slave owners and inspiring hope in the oppressed throughout the Republic. The slave owners, once secure in their power, now lived in fear of the rebellion reaching their doors. Meanwhile, the oppressed saw in Spartacus a beacon of hope, a symbol of resistance against tyranny and oppression. The march of the slave army was not just a physical journey, but a journey of the spirit, a testament to the indomitable human will to be free. Otro, A Legacy of Defiance. Thanks for watching. Spartacus's rebellion, though ultimately crushed by the might of Rome, left an indelible mark on history. His story serves as a testament to the human spirit's unyielding desire for freedom and the power of courage in the face of overwhelming odds. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating historical stories. See you next time.